Okay, y'all ready? Okay, a very exciting day here in signing day. We signed 18 high school players. We've said all along we're committed to building this thing the right way through high school players. The highest rated class in school history, which is very big. 10 players from the state of Florida. Had some hometown heroes in that mix. 6 from Georgia. Really, we really focused on Atlanta, which is a very good spot for us, we feel like. And 13 of these guys will enroll early, which I think is very important with that. And just a brief something about each one of these guys. Frankie Arthur, our running back. Cam Martin did a super job recruiting this guy. It's Adrian Peterson's younger brother. He's a big guy. He can run. He'll have a chance to help us next year. Very excited about him. Quay Birdsong, a tall, very athletic linebacker, physical linebacker. He can rush the passer. Went to Colby Hudson's high school, a guy that we're very familiar with, very excited about Quay. Jordan Bridgewater is a wide receiver. Got a chance to watch him, I guess, the last 2 years in 7-on-7. He's very smooth. He can run, really catches the ball. We're very excited about him. Once again, a hometown hero, which is very important. E.J. Colson, quarterback, he fits our system perfect. I got a chance to watch him play in the state championship game, I guess a couple of days ago. He was MVP. He is a dynamic thrower, runner, leader. He's got everything. We're very excited about EJ. Marcus Downs is a defensive tackle that is a really big athletic guy, about 6'5". He does a great job rushing. He's a physical guy. I think he's got a chance to be a really, really good player. Walt Claire Flynn is a guy that, really one of our more prized recruits. A lot of people around the country really wanted this guy. He's either the top center, number 2 center, by all the rankings and all that, playing in the Army, game and everything that goes with that. This guy will have a chance to help us early. So we're really excited about Walt Claire. He's been a leader of this class. His teammate Kylan Fox, same thing, one of the better tight ends in the country. He's playing the Under Armour All-American game, a guy that he's got receiver skills, but he's a big physical guy at the tight end position. He was really one of our main guys recruiting. He did a super job leading our class also. Stacy Gage, another leader. He was really one of the first guys committed in this class that really gave us some momentum. He's a running back. Cam Martin did a super job with him also. He can do it all, run, catch. He can do everything that a running back needs to do. Jacob Good, our defensive back, this guy was offered by just about everybody in the country, chose to come here. Very physical, very athletic, plays with an edge, and he'll have a chance to play early. Very excited about Jacob. Jalen Hayward, one of the top, highest rated recruits that we've ever had in school history. A guy that was committed to another school in the SEC for a long time and chose to come here. Really one of the leaders in this class. He can really run, great coverage skills, great ball skills. He'll have a chance to help us early. Chasen Johnson's a guy that's come to our 7-on-7s from Seminole. We know a lot about him. He can really run too. He's got really good ball skills, some receiver in his background, and really think that he's got a chance to help us also. Chase Malamal is a guy that we circled early on. He's a big athletic guy. We really think the sky's the limit for this guy moving forward. Very excited to have him on our offensive line. And then DJ McCormick, a linebacker from Rockledge, AP's teammate. He is also one of the leaders in this class. He can really run. He's very athletic and a very physical linebacker. Christian Peterson, a defensive back. This guy is really good at receiver too. He's got great ball skills, a great return guy. Also plays with that edge, and he's a guy I think will help us early too. Just love his attitude and his approach. Jashad Presley's a guy that came to our 7-on-7. I guess it was 2 years ago when he really stood out to me. I think that's when we offered him. He's a big guy, can really run. Really think he'll be able to help our defense, early. Burdell Richardson is a receiver that has a lot of upside as far as being a big time player. He's a guy that I really had to circle from a head coach's standpoint. Recruited him personally, really for the last year. Really excited to have him. He will play early on. I think he's the all-time leader in his high school. Got a chance to watch him in 7-on-7. He's a dynamic playmaker. Kason Stokes is a big, fast guy. He was one of the first to commit to us in this class. He's from here in Tampa, which is very, very important to us recruiting. We're very excited about him. And then Riley Turgeau, he is a dual threat quarterback. He's a big guy that really fits with what we like to do offensively. But overall, a lot of these guys will help us next year. Very excited about that. And like I said earlier, I think 13 are coming in early, which is always, really important. Questions?
Yeah, Gus, how big of a recruiting advantage was it to be the only Big 12 school in the state of Florida when you look at the recruiting?
Yeah, I think it was. I think it was really good for us. Big 12 obviously had a lot to do with us, having the highest rated class in school history. It's a very quality league, and recruits, can see that.
The quarterback situation, you have Riley Trujillo, who's been committed to you since March, and then you had E.J. Colson reclassified. So I guess what was the conversations with him as far as making that move, E.J., and then how do you feel, maybe judge those two guys?
Yeah,
skill sets?
they're both dual threat guys within our system that we look for. And EJ decided to reclassify. I guess it was a month or so ago that he, told us he was thinking about it, and we're all for it. And he's a dynamic player. Obviously, the MVP of the state championship game. He actually led them to the state championship game the 2 years before too. I mean, he's just a winner and can do a lot of things that to help teams win.
What sort of benefit do you see in him reclassifying and getting in the system earlier? Do you think does he have a chance to be on the field even as a young?
Well, I mean, I think both those guys are what we look for. I mean, we'll see once we get, once they get here and fit into the system. But, both of them are very quality quarterbacks. And, EJ has he's got a great name around Atlanta. And a lot of guys want to play with him, and so I think that's important too.
Your list of guys you got to sign, most of them are from the state, a lot of local kids as well as some up in Georgia. Going into recruiting, was that like a priority for you, and if so, why?
Yeah, well, first of all, it starts in this state. And I guess the first press conference I had when I got the job, I said, it's going to start here in Florida. And we've been committed to that and building that thing the right way with high school guys. I think that's the way to go. I mean, you see a lot of these programs that, it's portal heavy, and then that's what they choose to do. But we're going to build this thing from the foundation. Our foundation is going to be with Florida high school players. Now, Georgia, we have a lot of connections with our staff. South Georgia, all the way up to Atlanta. You see how well we're doing in Atlanta. I think that will continue, and that's really what we're going to hang our hat on.
You have a lot of Orlando kids. We've asked before about, how important is that for you to have those guys from the 407?
Yeah, it was our plan from day one, and I've recruited this area for a long time, even in my previous school, and just when I first got here. If we can keep our top players home and make it popular for them to stay home and be successful, and we've chipped away. Every year it's been a little bit better, and you see the guys having success on the field like John Walker and freshman All-American, all that. Well, it all works together. And so everything is trending in the right direction, and we'll continue to full court press the top players, at home.
How much of this class is meshed into what you saw on the field this year in the Big 12 to help you improve in those areas?
Yeah, all these guys are quality guys that can come in and be Big 12 ready. There's no doubt about that. And, when we're recruiting, that's exactly what we're asking ourselves with everybody that we come across. Can they help us win a Big 12 championship? And the great thing about this group is they're outstanding young men, and they'll fit into our program, our culture. We don't just take anyone. I mean, we do our homework on not just their athletic ability, but the type of person they are, the character they have, and then the fit, within our program.
You said you personally recruited Riddell Richardson.
Yeah.
Can you take us kind of through the relationship you built with him and what the vision is for him to get on the field early?
Yeah, I mean, I'm expecting him to be on the field early. There's no doubt about that. I recruited him since day one, and that was really our conversation. And, certain guys have, at a young age, have something really special about them, and he's got that. He's got that it factor. He's got a great personality, and just watching him play and watching him play 7-on-7, real excited that he's going to be a part of our program.
Because as your transfer, your thought process on the transfer portal, does it change or evolve over the last couple of years, especially in this first season of the Big 12?
Yeah, I mean, I think, like I've said before, the last 2 years have been a learning process for head coaches. Last year was different. This year's completely different. And, so it's, that thing you're built, I told you we want to build it with our high school guys. And what I've got to ask myself is immediate need. If we have immediate need, then we'll go in the portal as far as that goes. Obviously, when you go through a conference for the first year, you learn. And now we know exactly what it's like to be in this conference. And so strategic from a head coach's standpoint, that helps you put your plan together.
Were there any players like currently on the roster who helped out with recruiting, like someone who like messaged an old teammate or someone?
I mean, I'll just say this. A lot of these guys have been recruited a long time. They got great relationships with our players. Our players have done an unbelievable job helping us recruit. And, I think that says a lot about our players. I mean, it's hard for me to single out one. I mean, there's numerous guys that develop a relationship with these guys when they come on campus, and it all works together.
The timing of this day, not ideal for what you have later in the week, but is it a relief now to turn all the attention to Friday?
There's a lot of moving parts right now. There's no doubt about that. This is the first time I've ever experienced at a bowl site having signing day. But, hey, there's a lot of firsts that has come about this year. So it's just part of it. But overall, it was a big-time day for us, and it's exciting that we got these guys signed and ready to go. And now I can kind of turn my attention fully to the bowl. But overall, it was a great day.
In your last conversations with these guys before they signed, was there get the 7th win, get the program moving forward? How important was all that?
Yeah, I mean, that's really with our current players more than anything, just to get that momentum, get that 7th win. These guys can see the future's very bright, and that's why they chose to come with us.
You mentioned the success you had in the Atlanta area. All those guys, or a bunch of those guys, committed basically within a week at the start of July. So was it almost a collaborative effort between them in addition to
The group knows each other well, and their families know each other well. And, we're recruiting very hard for the 25 and 26 class around that area too. And so I think you will see that continue even more than it was this year.
Now that this process is over, are you and the coaching staff kind of able to take a step back and just let it sink in that you managed to get the highest rated recruiting class in the school history?
Probably after this bowl game and you're at Christmas and you're with your family and you can kind of sit down and relax, you'll look back and that'll be the first time you're able to really go, okay, that's really good. But things are so busy right now, and then we also got to prepare for January 3rd to come back. So there's a lot of moving parts. We're very excited we got this class, but we'll enjoy it in the proper time.
You've got 2 quarterbacks in this class. You have 3 quarterbacks with eligibility on the roster, other scholarship guys. Do you still see an immediate need for veterans that go forward?
I think I said earlier, it is a possibility. If the right one or right, person comes available, we'll at least listen, we'll see. I'm not ready to sit here and tell you, but we do know we have a lot of quarterbacks, and I think that's a good thing.
You've recruited a couple of them, so what sort of experiences are you seeing in dealing with the transfer market at the quarterback position right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a new age in college football, and you look like in the past this has been the backups that have went in portal. Well, this year it's the starters, which that's a little bit new for everybody, and so just looking for the right fit. And my job is to make our team the best it possibly can be, and it doesn't matter what position that is. And so we'll see what happens.
You had 18 signees. Was that the size of the class what you wanted, envisioned, or did you see maybe adding more pieces? Obviously, you had some you're looking at getting some commitments in the transfer portal, but do you want to see that class?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Okay, I think first of all, and I've said this before, got to make sure hold on to our team first. And you never know with the portal when it's open if you lose some more players. And so, if that happens, then I think you have other options that you have to, whether it's high school, whether it's transfers and all that. So it's a fluid situation from head coach's standpoint, and you just got to be ready to adjust.
It's obviously a different calendar now with December being the primary signing period, but how do you guys evaluate whether to add in February from the high school ranks? Is it a matter of seeing who's still out there, or is it resetting the board, or are you finding guys that are maybe late bloomers?
Yeah, I think it's all what I just said, kind of all the above. You just got to put everything together, and you see your needs, and then you never know if something, in the portal, if something comes available that you feel like you have a need, then we'll try to address that. And if we don't have the need, we'll stay pat.
You got 13 early enrollees, you said?
it looks like. As of right now, that's what we're expecting. We hope that holds true, but that's what we're expecting, and that would be, I guess, the most we've had since I've been here.
How important is it to get those guys on campus in the weight
Yeah.
program? And get
Oh,
them
yeah.
kind of start?
Yeah, anytime it gives you a complete head start, not just a weight program, but just understanding how college football works, how college life works, and gets them prepared, to help during the fall.
What does it do for the program when the word gets out to these recruits that you're recruiting these top classes? Just
Yeah, it just the momentum. I mean, it doesn't surprise me at all. I mean, we've been working hard to get to this point, and then now that we're in a Power 5, we're in the Big 12. It's going to keep trending better. The goal is each year we have the best recruiting class in school history. I think we've done that the last 3 years. We need to continue to do that. I fully expect us to do that. This is a very attractive place. I've said this before. I mean, the future is just unbelievably bright with everything that goes with it, with our school, with our community, and with our football team.
Cam Martin prioritized Stacey Gage early, and remember when he was on his official visit, he spoke with John Rice Plumlee near the end of it. Why was he somebody you wanted to build this, one of those players you wanted to build this possible?
Well, I mean, he's a guy that has influence. I mean, he's not just a good player in his own right, but he has influence, and great players want to play with great players. And so when he committed to us early, that was a great shot in the arm for this class. And he helped recruit the class, hold the class together. And there's a handful of others that I said were leaders in this class. There was probably about 6 or 7. And so that is a really, really good deal.